Now we will be talking about things what to teach first. So this video will be kind of to give you a perspective about certain skill development and how they are following the age of the player and definitely their growth. So when we look into the main things, let's say quite often the debate is in a school system that people don't like to do gymnastics. They are not really happy that their kid is doing gymnastics because they find it dangerous. They find it that it is not useful, it is useless, and why would we do it? Let me get back to answer of this bit later, because I want to talk first about like what is the development pattern of certain skill, because none of us definitely can come on a field and just do crazy stuff straight away. First we need to master some things in order to move to others. Now, what are the first thing what we need to master? We will be talking about the fundamental movement patterns. We definitely first we need to be even walking. We first need to be coordinating our upper body and lower body. We need to know how to transfer some weight. So first of all of us need to learn how to walk. So this is quite normal, right? It will be somewhere in here. Now, what is the next step of development? Probably it will be some sort of basic kicking the ball. It will be something like jumping, running, rolling around, throwing the ball, kicking it, and all sort of things. We call those fundamental movement skills. And later on, when we master all of those things which are underneath it, we can move on to the sport-specific skills. There we can put all sort of tricks which you can do when you want to be the defender and score a goal. We can be putting there anything from the tactic and the technique. So we have some sort of pyramid of development. On the bottom of it, we have skills which we first need to learn. Now, the problem quite often in football is that we straight on want to skip certain steps and jump on the top of the pyramid and only be working in here. The problem with that is that if your base is not stable, if your base is not big, there is nothing to build on. So if you have never done any other sports, you probably will be slow in adopting new specific football skills compared to someone else who is multi-sport player. So to quickly get back onto the PE debate, now gymnastics, what is it good for? If you dig in your memory, what are we teaching in gymnastics? Why is gymnastics so popular among sports coaches and it is so hated among parents? Okay, it is slightly dangerous, but it's dangerous for people who don't know how to do it. If it's guided by a sports professional, then it is done in a safe environment with a good equipment as well. But gymnastics is teaching us specifically in a PE school environment those two parts of the pyramid. So when we go to football pitch, we can already develop on that. But you can be asking, why is it good for a football player to know how to do a forward roll? Now, as a coach, it tells me quite a lot of things, because even if girls are doing cartwheels on a sideline when they are not playing, it tells me a lot of things about their body control, about their body structure. It means when they come to a contact situation in football and they fall on the ground, they know what to do. They are in charge of their body and they can maybe cover, they can maybe roll, they can maybe tuck their head in a way that they don't get injured. Because for sure you saw some kids who didn't sustain any physical contact on a field and they are flying off like a banana thrown in the air. And how they land, they simply land like a bag of potatoes. So we want to avoid those things. And for me, if a kid is really good in gymnastics, by that I mean has a great body control, not that can do triple somersaults in the air, but can master the easy task what comes from the primary school gymnastics. That means for me that the player is ready to move on for something a bit more difficult. And I do not need to be worried about their physique because I know they will be able to do it. Do I want my players to have a great run up, jump in the air and head at the ball in 2 meters high in the air? Great, but first the player needs to be able to run, jump, master the distances of the balls and depth perception, and then to put everything like this together. Now, all of a sudden, if that player will jump and then land on the floor, I don't need to be so worried about him because I believe in his abilities and that he can come up with and then be ready to do it again. And I do not need to be worried too much about how did they land, are they breaking their arms when they're falling down. Classic example for me is when I'm coaching goalkeepers, because I used to be a professional goalkeeper, and quite often kids come and they straight away want to move on for mid-height balls diving or some sort of extensions. Now for me, if the kid cannot master a simple task as rolling on a side from their knees, I'm not moving forward because I can't ensure the safety. Safety comes from the right movement patterns and the right movement skills, and then I'm putting the specific skills what I need to do in order to master that skills as an extension for goalkeepers. So as an outcome for all of this, I would like to put an emphasis on letting your kids do other sports. For me, the basis of all ball games is gymnastics.